We worked through just to the insecticide stage. PGRs then, it got Cyclocel and Modus on the 14th of April, along with Talius for mildew. Talius is the preventative mildew product. If you have mildew present, you've got to put in something to knock the mildew as well as putting in the protectant. But damn good spray, in fairness, and oats and Bora in particular can be extremely prone to mildew. In general, it's not been a big problem this year that I have seen. There's certainly bits. There's bits in all kinds of crops, and there's bits of mildew now only coming into crops about the country, but generally they're sitting on massive fertility, and fertility breeds mildew. And then on the 23rd of April, we had Toccata at 1.5 litres for disease, C-Red going in at that stage, and Mantrac Pro going in as well. And we're on 140 kilos of nitrogen, 30 and 130. And again, that I'm assuming is an average of what went on to different parts of the field. So, you know, you have a damn good crop. A lot of oats this year, to me, was very slow to colour up. By that I mean to get its dark green colour. This one certainly is a damn good green colour. I'd be very happy with that. And I'm also very comfortable with the way the crop feels to me. I have been in stronger ones, but I'm comfortable. That little action that I used there, that's a little action that I would always use in every crop at this time of the year, because not with oats, not legally anyway, but with wheat and barley at that stage, you'd still have the option to use Cirones in particular, maybe Terpal, and you might consider another growth regulator if you're getting soft, because there are soft crops out there. I've been in them. There are plenty good crops out there too. One thing that I just picked up, I'd always be conscious, I just picked up this leaf when I walking in, had to find one sooner or later. I'm sure you can't see it, doesn't matter if you can see it or not, but there's nothing you can do about it, but you can see it's going to kill the leaf. You can see the leaf, just see where it's bending. If you can see it bending, it's bending on the weakness of the disease. It's a bacterial disease, and fungicides don't kill bacteria. It'll take an antibiotic, and I'm not recommending it. Okay, not a doctor of antibiotics, but it's something that happens. I don't think it'll be a problem because most of the rain is stopped. It tends to be something, if you get day after day after day of rain, this is something that just appears. And it can do quite a bit of harm, but there's nothing you can do about it. The other thing that I picked up when I was coming in, and I had to go a long ways to find this, Larry, so I'd be very happy about that. This year, when I walk oat crops, one of the most common things that I'll see in the crop is, I don't know whether you can see it or not from where you are, this stem here. Can any of you see that stem? You're too far away? Can you see the brownness that's in the stem there? If you can, that's what I'm after. Or, if you can see the leaf, see the little lesion in the butt of the leaf? If you can see it from where you are. Now, I can't tell you to pick up one in front of you because I'm hoping there's not one down there. But the minute I look into a crop and I see the little V in the butt of the leaf, I know that's fusarium. And fusarium is something you can't do an awful lot about, you know, you live with it. I'm just saying to you what it is, because if you're growing oats at home, there's at least a possibility that you have it. What you see there is kind of inconsequential. You have disease killing the leaf sheath, and the leaf will eventually die, but the leaf is going to eventually die anyway, and the canopy is forming over it. So arguably, it doesn't matter. What does matter is when you start stripping the leaves back, and it probably isn't in this one, and it isn't, it's only bare, oh it is you get this thing. It's probably something you can't, can I pass it, let you pass it around? All right? You see that mark on the stem now? I mean, basically what's going on is that it's a disease that's getting into the stem. The disease is moving and growing up inside of the stem. Not all the way around the stem, just at a point in the stem. And that's the place where the tissue is all black and brown. And that's okay, except for when the plant cells die. As they die, everything kind of behaves differently because it's no longer soft and pliable. And what's happening is as if you just take the penknife and just cut the notch out, as if you're making a tin whistle. And you get a number of those in a row, and you kind of say to yourself, oh Janie man, what's going to happen here? The whole thing is going to crack and go to the ground. okay? That's what you're afraid of. That seldom happens. That's the good news. Okay, but just to explain, that's what's going on as you see it. You can just barely see the cracks that go across it. The ones that go across are the ones that worry you. Generally speaking, what happens is that you have affected the plant. It is diseased. If you watch it dent to the top, you find you get an awful lot more blank grains in this head than you will in the head beside it, because the disease has reduced the amount of material that can flow up and down the stem. The plant knows it can't fill 200 grains, so it kills 50 or 100 or 150, as the case might be. It's very common in oats. It's kind of so common this year that there's a particular maggot that feeds on the fungus and only on the fungus. He's a little pink lad if you happen to find him. He's about a ½ millimetre thickness of a pin, a straight pin, and about 4 millimetres long, pink in colour. He's pink in colour because he eats fusarium. That's my reading of it anyway. But that's about all he feeds on. And when you find him, you kind of know you're looking at infection. Oats is the only crop you'll tend to find them in. Did find a couple in wheat this year, just walking around, but I only find them because I would know to look for them. And I knew what they were, so it makes finding them a little bit easier.